Essence of Teachings of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Review of the Fundamentals. A foreign visitor who could spend only 3 days in Bombay attended both the morning and evening sessions every day. At the final session, he said he had absorbed so much during the 3 days that he was not able to sort out the priorities and did not know what to do first and what could be postponed. He earnestly requested Maharaj to review the fundamentals so he could retain them in his mind in an orderly manner. Maharaj laughed and asked him if there was any confusion in his mind about his being a male human being, about being a son of his parents, or about his profession. If not, then why should there be any confusion about his true nature? Anyway, said Maharaj, let us take up what you have asked for. What you really want is to reach an acceptable understanding of yourself, which you have been conditioned to regard as a body-mind entity with complete control over its actions and your relationship with the world in which you live. You on the one hand and the world on the other. What you think you are is nothing but the material essence of your father's body, which was conceived in your mother's womb and later grew spontaneously into the shape of body with bones, flesh, blood, etc. Indeed, you were not even consulted about your birth. A human form was created which grew from baby to an infant, and at certain time, perhaps in the second year of life, you were told that you were born, that you have both a name and form. Thereafter, you had the knowledge of beingness and you began to consider yourself as a separate individual, an independent entity apart from the rest of the world. Now consider this. 1. Did your parents specially and deliberately create you? 2. Did your parents know the moment when the conception took place? 3. Did you specifically and deliberately select a particular couple as your parents? And 4. Did you choose to get born? From the answer to these questions, it is clear that a form in the shape of human being got created almost accidentally without any concurrence or selection on anyone's part, which you later on accepted as yourself. Therefore, you as such do not exist. It is a fact. This is the first fundamental. A form got created through a natural process. Then the question is, what are we? All of us. Each one of us as a phenomena is merely an appearance in the consciousness of those who perceive us. Therefore, what we appear to be is a phenomena, temporal, finite and perceptible to the senses, whereas what we are, what we always have been, and what we shall always be, without name and form, is the absolute Parabrahman, which is timeless, spaceless, imperceptible being. However convincingly you may think you have understood this basic fact, you will find it almost impossible to dissociate yourself from the identification with your name and form, that is your body, as an entity. This can happen only when that which you have been thinking of as a separate entity has been totally annihilated. This is the second fundamental, the power of Maya, the illusion. What is merely a phenomena without any independent existence is considered to be real, and efforts are made by this phantom to become something, that is, a shadow chasing its substance. Actually, you have all along been the substance and never the shadow in bondage wanting liberation. How very amusing but then that is Maya. Now the third fundamental. Would you have been able to conceive or perceive any aspect of the manifested world if there were no space and time? If phenomena were not extended into space and given a three-dimensional volume, and if they were not measured in duration, you could not have conceived, let alone perceived, any of the apparent universe. Please note that all phenomena are mere appearances in space-time, conceived and perceived in consciousness. And even the very idea of wholeness of the Absolute can only be a concept in consciousness. When consciousness merges in the Absolute, who or what can there be to want to know or experience anything? And now, the final fundamental. If what I have said so far is clearly understood, should it not be possible for you to recognize your true state or a state before you were born? Could you go back to that primal state before the consciousness spontaneously arose and brought on the sense of presence? The state of sense of presence is true so long as the body exists. When the lifespan of the body is over, this conscious presence merges into the original state where there is no consciousness of being present. Remember, no one is born, no one dies. There is merely the beginning, the duration and end of an event objectified as a lifetime in space-time. As a phenomena, there is no entity or an individual that is bound. As absolute Parabrahman, there can be no entity that needs to be liberated. That is what is to be recognized. The dream world of phenomena is something to be merely witnessed. That is Maya. The visitor bowed down before Maharaj and said he had received the highest knowledge in the fewest words. I have learnt about my true identity. I have nothing else to learn now. I have nothing else to learn now.